I was 12 years old the first time I was truly transported by a film that really stuck in my memory. I was in my living room with my parents when I watched Wes Anderson's quirky teen drama, Moonrise Kingdom. It wasn't until the film's credits rolled that I realized how immersed into the characters and stories I had been. No film had ever made me lose my sense of time and space. Wes Anderson's extremely entertaining and heavily stylized film sparked my interest, making me recognize the potential of film as an art form. But I didn't think to act upon my interest until my freshman year of high school. Flipping through options on art electives that were graduation requirements, I came across a course called Film Critique. Not really reading the description, I added the class. I loved watching films and assumed film critique would be an easy A compared to my other elective options. I was completely unaware that this seemingly meaningless course would not only inspire me to want to become a film director, but also give me experiences around the world that helped shape me into the person that I am today. My film teacher, Gwen Sidley, who I'm eternally grateful for, expanded my mind by introducing me to film classics, award-winning documentaries, and avant-garde cinema. Part of the course also included making my own short films of all genres. Some of the many projects I created my first year included a music video, stop-motion animation, and a documentary and a soap opera. I loved the class so much I decided to take video production 2 the following year, which was more focused on news and broadcasting. That year, I worked on my high school's video announcements, which would play every day after lunch. I made highlight videos about our sports teams and clubs and would even speak in front of the live camera reading a teleprompter. But I didn't enjoy running the school announcements as much as I enjoyed creating my own films. Miss Sidley recognized my frustration and suggested I apply to a summer school in LA called the California State Summer School for the Arts, CSA for short, held at the California Institute of the Arts. I was still very new to the art form and didn't feel confident enough to apply to such a competitive program. Receiving my acceptance letter into CSA was both exciting and nerve-wracking. I spent weeks debating whether or not to accept and spend a month of my summer in an unfamiliar place with people I did not know. My freshman and sophomore year of high school had been very rough for me, and I struggled with making new friends and was insecure in general. It took a lot of courage and push from my parents to finally decide to go. Little did I know CSA was about to change my life. The people I met there welcomed me with open arms, and I felt at home. My other film-loving peers helped me develop a confidence in myself that has only improved over the years. Attending CSA made me realize how unhappy I was at home in my high school, and I decided I needed a change. On the last night of the program, I showed my final project to a theater full of people. My film was titled Mean Girls, and it was a very personal video in which I discussed my bullying experience in middle school and how it affected me today. When it finished playing, the audience erupted in applause, and I started to quietly cry of happiness in my seat. Sharing my story through an art form I loved to a large group of people gave me the push that I needed. I felt like a huge weight had been lifted from my shoulders since I avoided talking about my bullying experience for so many years. The crowd in that theater validated my experience and gave me confidence to want to become a filmmaker. But I knew that I had a lot of work to do coming home from my transformative CSA experience. I decided to apply to a new art high school in San Francisco where I knew I could meet a completely new pool of people and also focus on my new passion. I was accepted in the beginning of the semester and transferred high schools my junior year. Transferring high schools was difficult, but with the confidence I gained at CSA, I felt comfortable meeting new people and placing myself in a new environment. At my new high school, I expanded my film experience and worked much more on creative projects. I decided to apply to another summer program at Northwestern in Chicago. At Northwestern, I really got to explore the role of a director. I took intensive classes where we read scripts and wrote out descriptions of how we would film each scene. I tried acting and learned the importance of understanding how to act before directing others. It was the most intense program I ever attended, and I worked on over 10 different short films. My love for film did not stop there. After graduating high school, I spent a month of my summer living in a farm in Wexford, Ireland. I was there studying film in an artist-in-residency program called Cowhouse Studios. This was the most independent film experience I'd ever had since there was limited resources and no other film students in the program. But because there was no film crew to help me, and no actors that I could direct, I struggled at first to navigate the truly independent film projects that I was tackling. I spent a few painful days trying to come up with my final project, but I knew that I wanted to create a piece that captured my feelings about transitioning into college. I decided to take on the role in front of the camera for the first time, and I used a tripod so I could film myself. I experimented with reflections and mirrors and wrote a poem that I used as a voiceover and ended up with a film that I was very proud of, titled Farewell. It recently played this April in the Youth Works section of the San Francisco International Film Festival, my first film to ever be featured in a film festival. Having my film play in an internationally viewed festival in a city that I love and grew in gave me so much joy. Farewell is my latest film project, but definitely not the last. I want to share my life experiences and the experiences of others, and I have discovered film as my preferred form of expression. I plan on continuing my film journey at Boston University in the College of Communication. My goal in my filmmaking career is to become a director, creating films that people can connect and relate to, while also laughing. I want to inspire others, especially women, to participate in the art of filmmaking the way Wes Anderson lit a fire in me when I was 12.